Hi there. I wanted to give you a quick update on this Sunny Balwani trial because I've gotten a lot of questions from y'all. What's going on with the trial? How come there hasn't been any trial all week? Well, both parties stipulated, that means they agreed, to continue the case until Tuesday, June 21st. So on Tuesday, the jury will come back and then they will start the closing arguments. And I'll tell you a little bit about the closing arguments. But before I get there, I want to say thank you to all of those of you who supported this channel. If you haven't supported the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the bell notification, and please do leave a comment or a question. This is all about analysis, so I'm curious, what do you think? And speaking of which, I put a poll on the community tab. If you want to vote, cast your vote on what you think the verdict will be in the Sunny Balwani trial. Go to the community tab, community page, and cast your vote on the poll. I want to know what you think. You're the analyzers. What have I done? Over 35 videos on the Sunny Balwani trial and probably 40 some on the Elizabeth Holmes case. So what's your analysis? What do you think the verdict could be in the Sunny Balwani trial? He's facing those 12 counts of wire fraud, 2 related to conspiracy, 1 conspiring with Holmes to defraud investors, conspiring with Holmes to defraud patients, those 6 counts relating to defrauding individual investors, and those 4 counts relating to defrauding patients. So please cast your vote. Go to the community tab and cast your vote. All right. So, by the way, Elizabeth Holmes, her motion for judgment of acquittal, in other words, asking the judge to throw out the jury's verdict, that hearing will take place on July 21st. And you can go ahead and look at the videos I've done. I did a live analysis on her motion for judgment of acquittal. You can take a look at that. And if you're curious about calculating a potential sentence for Balwani, you can look at, because it's the same 12 counts, you can look at the calculating Holmes's sentence video I did, where I walk you through the sentencing guidelines and suggest a possible sentence that Elizabeth Holmes could face and also Sunny Balwani. All right, so closing arguments. Now notice I said closing argument, not closing statement. It's opening statement, closing argument. Closing argument is our opportunity. It's the attorney's opportunities. It's my opportunity to get up and persuade a jury as to what I think the evidence has shown. The prosecution, the government, wants to persuade the jury to convict, right? So they're going to be arguing what the evidence shows, that they have met each and every element of wire fraud beyond a reasonable doubt. The defense, in closing argument, is also going to be trying to persuade a jury. But all they need is 1 or more jurors, because you need all 12 jurors in a criminal case to convict. The defense only needs 1 or more, right? And then you don't have a unanimous verdict. So you have an undecided decision, right? So the government needs all 12. The defense only needs 1 or more. So the defense in closing argument, they have an opportunity to persuade the jury, to convince the jury, 1 or more jurors, that the government has not met their burden of proof. In other words, there's reasonable doubt. There's a missing database. Balwani wasn't on the investor call. Balwani never met some of these investors. The financials that were provided were projections, and the investors understood that to be projections. So there's no fraud there. Balwani had nothing to do with the technology. He walked into Elizabeth Holmes's company. He walked into Theranos. The technology was already set up. I mean, I know they were still working out different versions of it, but it was her technology. It was her company. He was basically behind the scenes doing, the software and the hardware, overseeing the lab, but the technology that he understood, he learned it from the Theranos scientists. So there's no fraud there. let's see what else. He had no intent to defraud anyone. Those investors, he was the money that they invested in Theranos, he was hoping to turn a profit. He wasn't planning on defrauding, cheating anyone out of money. You see what I'm getting at? Those are possible things that maybe the defense could argue in closing arguments. I don't know. Again, this video is just my opinion. All right? And for education and information purposes only. And hit that like button and do subscribe. All right, so what else did I want to say? It's Friday, I got to look at my notes. Those logos. You know, Balwani didn't know about those logos that Elizabeth Holmes admitted to misappropriating, those pharmaceutical logos that were put on those reports that were given to prospective investors. He didn't know anything about that. He didn't have anything to do with that. I don't know. What are they going to argue? So we will find out on Tuesday. Okay, so let's see what else. This is, for a lot of attorneys, closing argument is the funnest part. I mean, I always have fun in closing argument, right? Because you don't get objected to because it's argumentative, that kind of stuff. You can go ahead and argue what you think the evidence is. You can tell them what you think this case is about. You need to give them reasons why you want them to convict or to acquit your client. It's not a time when you get up and you read your notes. No. That's not very effective, okay? You need to engage with the jury. This is your last opportunity to convince them. Your last opportunity, all right? So, closing arguments, not closing statements. It's their opportunity to argue and to persuade and to convince all 12 if you're the government, or one or more, not to believe, to believe that the government has not met their burden of proof. All right? Then after closing arguments, then the jury goes and deliberates. And at some point, they'll come back with a verdict. My guess, again, this is just my guess, I don't think the jury's going to be out that long. Maybe a couple days or so. We'll see. But I don't think it's going to be a lengthy deliberation, just based on the evidence that was presented. But again, just my opinion. So you let me know. So please do cast your vote. Let me know what you think the verdict is. You've been analyzing this all along. Please do support my channel by subscribing, hit that like button, share these videos, hit the bell notification. And if you want to contribute to me making these videos, they're a lot of work. I do appreciate your contribution. So I'll put a PayPal link in the description box below the video. So hit that like button, and thank you very much for watching.